Rio de Janeiro, the women's épée individual.
Referees, please, you can start the bouts.
Refereeing this bout, Andrea Piatko from France. Video referee Alafala from Iraq. Well, as the fencers prepare, they salute. Weapons test, salute the referee, and we will get this second semi-final underway. Brought on guard and commanded to fence. Starting very cagey in these early seconds of the match. XU Anki just inviting Kochneva on. Now in épée, if they fence for a minute without a point scored, then it will go to non-competitivity, it's called, and it moves on. But they have both scored. They both scored a double.
Sorry about that, Graham. I was just asked for my opinion as a TV man about a new project the FI are doing on designs on the front of masks. So here we see some of the athletes, Kochneva with the Russian flag on the front of their mask. And the FI are looking at sort of broadening that beyond flags.
Oh, really? So you could have like
Spider-Man on the front of your mask.
A big, scary, angry animal face.
That's the kind of thing they're looking at. Interesting, I think. So you putting a bit of pressure here on Kochneva, but
yes,
not usually a normal style, not rushing things, just taking a time.
No, I mean, we are well over halfway through this first period, and we've basically scored 2 hits, if you like. The first one was a double. Second one a single. That's an average of a hit a minute.
Yeah, well, it's a patient game.
It will speed up. It will speed up towards the end, and it's really important, as you say, to stay in the competition.
Of course, you've got to stay in the fight. Kochneva's playing a good game here. She's not rushing. She's not being lured into Anki Xu's game plan to make her make a mistake. A nice direct attack from her there. XU Anki using her reach to score a double, but so far so good for the Russian. We don't know what's been said within the Russian team in terms of qualification, but it's not too much of a stretch of the imagination that the Russian delegation have said to their fencers, look, this is your last big opportunity before we select the team. They have to name their team. Nice hit from XU there, picking up a compound attack around the wrist. A nice little slow motion replay there. But it's not too much of a stretch of the imagination. The Russian team has said to each of their fencers, this is what we require you to do at the Rio Grand Prix if you're going to get selected. And I don't know, but I would hazard a guess that the big smile on Kochneva's face may suggest that if that was said, she has done enough.
It certainly takes the pressure off if that is the case. To say that the way that the qualifying works, if you qualify as a team, then it's down to your team, not your national governing body, to select which fencers they want to send.
Absolutely. I've noticed here they haven't started the 1 minute countdown clock, and now got a man coming up to press a button to start that, but they had a good 20 seconds extra there. And after what you were saying about the rest that's required, that's 20 seconds is probably very valuable.
So Xu Anqi, coached by French coach, and his instructions through an interpreter.
Yeah, one of possibly the best female épée coaches, Daniel Lavavasseur, giving his sage advice. Coached by, a coach of many athletes, he's often known as a coach without frontiers. He coaches. If you want him to coach you, he will coach you. But he is the Chinese National Federation coach.
An entraîneur sans frontières.
Oui. C'est très bien.
I'm sure that's not exactly how you should say it, but. So into the second period. Scores at 4-2. And Xu Anqi of China, world number 1, in the driving seat.
Yeah, key here is for KOCHNEVA not to lose her nerve. She's got to stay in the game. She can't let Xu Anqi get too far away from her, but also she mustn't rush. I hesitate to say it, but maybe non-combativity is a good idea for KOCHNEVA. Is she going to get awarded that hit? I'm not sure that she will do. Referee's calling her back.
Let's have a look at the replay.
So she's blocked out the first time. Are they going to call a video here? Now the assistant is coming over. I think that's Julio Ranza. He's asked Andre Piatko, the referee, to just go and have a quick look at the video.
KOCHNEVA didn't ask. Or no, I don't think the Russian asked.
No, I don't think she did either. I think it's possible that the assistant has seen an infringement. Andre Piatko trots back. Oh, no, he's now coming back again to the video. You can't see that in your pictures, but you get a good view of what the fencers have to go through. And as you can see, standing right at the back of the piste, Xu Anqi right at the back, deciding that she's not going to move from her position, she's not going to concede the hit. KOCHNEVA going to her on guard line to say, that's my hit. The only thing this could be is whether KOCHNEVA was off the side of the piste, and I think she was when she landed the hit, hence no hit given.
So the scores remain the same at 4-2. Not brought back to the on-guard position, no hit given. And now they're brought back because that's a double. Doesn't really help the Russian that much. All the Russians scored so far is 3 doubles.
Yeah, this
needs to find a way of scoring a point, basically, without conceding a point.
Single light's what she's looking for, but Xu in control at the moment, came into this period with a 2-hit lead, is extending it, and we're less than a minute in.
You saw that the hit from the Russian. It was timed out, basically. It was too late to score the double. What is the time for a double? I'm going to wager. We've got a message board here. I'm sure someone will tell us. But I think it's 0.25
it's
of a second.
250 milliseconds,
Yeah, 0.25.
At one point it was 0.28, but they were talking about changing it. Different for different weapons. They're changing the saber timings now. After the Olympic Games.
Oh,
There you go. So using a beat there is a bit of a change in tactics from KOCHNEVA, and a bit of an unusual one as well. It's sort of sort of circular cease, but it never went all the way around to that side. She kept her point on the sword arm side and went into the low line for Anki Zhu.
So it was very much a beat attack rather than a parry riposte, because there was no attack made by Zhu Anki.
Absolutely using her blade to knock her opponent's blade out of the way for a long enough period to land a single light. They're still playing a good game here, the Russian, not going too mad. And then as soon as I say that, curse the commentator, she then goes diving in, having missed the beat. She attempted it there, she saw she missed it, and Zhu Anki was ready for it.
Just trying the wrist flick there.
Yeah, just trying to feel a way around. It's just looking for it, but she's offering the same thing too many times. She's trying to explore with something, and then showing it a couple of times, then trying to go for the real hit on the third one. And Zhu Anki is ready for it. She just deceived that one, went round it, and you have to say now that a 4-hit lead for the world number 1 is a mountain to climb for KOCHNEVA.
Well, the Russian has actually only scored 1 single light so far in the competition as we go into the second break. 3 doubles, 1 single of her own, making up her 4 points.
It's not enough. It's not enough, and she's going to have to get some good advice. You see Daniel Lavasseur there talking with Zhu Anki. Got some replays here, and that was the hit that was overturned that you just saw. It wasn't given. The different angles that we're getting, that was the single light that the Russians scored.
A lot of these slow motion replays, it's the lighting that makes them so good. The fact that this lighting setup is there for the Olympic Games. It really does pick up the blade, and you can really see all the fine movements of the blade as they go on the attack.
Yeah, it helps us show you, the viewer, what's going on. But it also shows that even in slow motion, it looks fast sometimes. Shows what incredible athletes these are. The start of this third period is so important now for the Russian. She's got to pick off a couple of single lights. She can take her time doing it, but there's one. And she needs a couple more of those. If she can get within 1 or 2, then she can start to be a little bit more patient, use the time a little bit more to build the hits. For me, where she's been losing hits is where she has rushed. Oh, lovely. Come on. Really, really nice.
Now she's pumped.
Yeah, she's certainly pumped up. She's well up for this. She's got nothing to lose here. She's down by so much against the world number 1. I know it's only a few hits, but in épée in the final period, 3 or 4 hits, it is a mountain to climb, as I said at the beginning of this period. But if she can get 1 more, then maybe the pressure starts to show a little bit on the Chinese fencer's face. So a little short attack, a little sortie to find out what Chinese fencer was going to do, and another one. I fear if she does that again, she's going to get hit. Just got out the way in time. Lovely.
Game on. Well, she knew she had to do something. Kochneva needed to change her game. She's done just that. The last 3 points have gone to the Russian.
Yeah, playing a good game here now. She's just mixing up that again.
Oh dear.
She's landed on a wireless box there. You can see holding where the box is. She's landed on that. That will smart. She'll be all right, I'm sure, but she did go straight down on that hit. Completely accidental. That is going to hurt. She basically landed on a solid metal box.
Kochneva tried to pull out of the bump and ended up kind of like ramming her with a midriff.
Yeah,
She tries to pull out of it there and then just like, hip checks her,
Yeah.
hits her with her hip bone right onto the hip bone, and that pushes her down on the floor. And, you know, they say that fencing is a non-contact sport, but
Yeah, but if you both attack at the same time and you're both going at pace, that's what's going to happen. The medical team are out now. They're going to have to start their injury clock. You can see the blue lights flashing at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. That's the new, that's not so new now, it's about a year old. The scoring boxes now have lights for medical, they have lights for technical, and they have lights for pauses in the fight for other factors. And so the doctor comes on. Haven't seen the clock start yet. They tested a 5-minute injury timeout time, reducing it from 10 minutes at the Cadet and Junior World. So be interested to see if they do that at senior level. I very much doubt they'd change the rules halfway through the season. She does not look at all comfortable, does she?
that is going to hurt.
Interestingly, Kochneva is sitting down at the other end of the piste, and she's got a back to all of this. She doesn't need the distraction. It was a complete accident, so no blame.
No card given.
No, absolutely shouldn't be either.
They've just adjusted the score to 8 apiece because that hit did bring them level.
Completely valid hit. And they still haven't started the clock, Graham, and I'm surprised.
Well, the timing's been a bit, I hate to say it, it's been a bit temperamental, shall we say. A couple of times the referee Piatko has had to hand in his hand timing unit to one of the officials, and they've switched it over. It can't be the batteries because you can't switch it over that much. I mean, so something's not quite right with the timing. And we saw in was it this fight or the one just before that they
didn't start the
they didn't start the time. Now finally 2-3 minutes into this injury pause, into the medical pause, the medical clock has now started. So someone who's pressing the buttons needs to sharpen up their skills.
Well, I think, you know, they will be using volunteers throughout the day, but here I think they're using the professionals, and perhaps it's actually a communications thing. But that's what the test event is all about. They don't want to have these issues at the Olympic Games, and they won't
certainly
have
don't
these.
want another timing issue at the Olympic Games.
No, they do not. And it's all about making sure that communication, that line of communication, is a little bit more clear. And when there's an injury called, the clock starts pretty much as soon as the doctor says yes, this is now a valid claim for an injury timeout. You've got a great shot of Kochneva. She can't help but look over her shoulder. There's her coach saying, you look at me, ignore that, you need to focus on your job. It wasn't your fault, it's a complete accident. And now we see that Xu is still lying. She's moving around, but
yeah, it's just kind of in the lumbar region of the spine. There's a lot of nerves that go down. The sciatic nerve will come out of L6, L7, run down through the glutes, down into the leg. If you jar that point, it can really hurt quite a lot. I'm talking about controversy and timing in fencing, and Britta Heidemann was was here earlier. She is here around today. We spoke to her earlier about the semi-final that she had at London 2012 with Shin Alam, or Lama Shin, I should say, and how that fencing has now changed because of that. And instead of it being timed in seconds, it is now timed in hundredths of a second.
Yeah, when you get down to the last 10 seconds, you'll see the clock in each period. You'll see the clock start counting down in hundredths of seconds, and that is exactly the reason why they brought that in, working with the equipment manufacturers to just ensure that kind of thing doesn't happen again, because it was controversial. It was no one's fault and everyone's fault. No one had experienced anything like that before. But what you can say about the world of fencing now is it's reliant on technology, but the technology can sometimes come in and save the day, as it has done with this new countdown clock.
We're talking about the air conditioning in this hall. That picture there shows you that it's actually, once you're fencing and you've built up a bit of a sweat, if you stop moving, it's chilly in here.
Yep. It is definitely chilly. I think I'll be wearing long trousers tomorrow.
It's not chilly, it's Brazil.
Oh, very good.
Apologies. We've got to fill the time somehow. We've got 6 minutes 30 seconds left on this medical pause. Talking about chilly in the venue, it's baking hot outside, and it's actually quite a nice balmy evening tonight, but during the day it's well over 30 degrees, 35 degrees. It's going to be cooler for the Olympic Games, because we're working our way towards a southern hemisphere winter. This is their autumn. This is when they kind of they think the winter's coming.
Yeah,
it's going to get cold. It's going to go all the way down to 20 degrees.
26, I think they're saying, the daytime temperature for the Olympic Games. But it's interesting because whilst it is the autumn here, the locals are all saying that it's unseasonably hot. It was up at 35, 36 degrees, and talking about getting up, or you can see Zhu and Qi getting up and strapping up at 8 apiece. She was 4 hits up, but 4 in a row from the Russian has brought her level. But it does look like Zhu and Qi is nearly ready to resume this fight. I've got to say, this test they did at Bourges at the Cadet and Junior World Championships not even 10 days ago, finished not 10 days ago, was interesting. 5 minutes. They reduced the injury time out to 5 minutes. And do you know what?
Do they all recover in 5 minutes?
Yeah, and I had a chat with a couple of the doctors, and there was a bit of contention. People saying it's not enough, and you're trying to just rush things along and not caring for the athletes. I talked to a number of people, and all of the fencers were ready. And what the interesting thing that the doctor said is that if you can't fix something in 5 minutes,
you're not going to be able to fix it
in 10.
If you've broken your ankle, you've broken your ankle.
Yeah. And they said that
if you've torn your hamstring, you've torn your hamstring.
Yeah.
So it's really a question of how quickly the doctor can diagnose a very serious injury that you cannot fence on.
And the diagnosis happens before the injury timeout starts. The initial diagnosis is, do you need an injury break? And so usually they've established what it is, whether it's cramp or whether you've sprained something or whether you need a bit of magic spray or the magic sponge. If you've broken your leg, you're going to know pretty quickly as a doctor, and 5 minutes is not going to fix it.
Maybe not necessarily. I mean, I know people who've stress fractures and broken bones in their legs and fenced on, or skied on, or run on. I did an event in Morocco last year, the Marathon des Sables, and one of our team broke his ankle about 8 hours into a 90-kilometer run, and ran for a following 4 hours with a broken ankle.
Yeah.
Adrenaline can do quite a lot, and pain can be masked. But she is back up on her feet, Zhu Anqi, and he has re-established her lead.
And she doesn't look like she's in any discomfort. She's moving freely. Kochneva needs to maintain the poise that she came in with, and there is that that hit that we saw a little bit earlier on, the sort of unusual flick up. It's sort of like, it looks like a circular cease to start with, but it kind of finishes in almost a prime position. Sorry to get over technical, but those are the lines that, or the hand positions that the Russians getting into, and it's unusual, I have to say.
Well, it's working, and it's worked twice. And the fact is that in this third period, the Russian has scored considerably more points than the world #1 from China, and that one's a double.
She was very close to a single light though, the Russian. She missed her first one and was quick enough to react to get the double. Watch this replay. There's the first one. She misses it and reacts really fast to secure the double. That was close. That's what it matters though.
Yeah, Xu Anqi, she's not world #1 for nothing.
Don't rush now, Kochneva. You need to maintain your patience and build the hit. You've got time.
30 seconds on the clock.
Oh, she's done it. What a great hit there. Brilliant circular cease parry there. And got away from the oncoming Chinese fencer and landed.
Now, 29 seconds left on the clock, 11 apiece. Surely, if someone lands a hit now, before the end of this, then it's going to be absolutely decisive. Will they keep fencing? Will they step away?
Well, it looks to me like Kochneva's trying to fashion another hit. Zhu's
She's
trying
going
to
for
stay
glory.
away. Yeah, I think so.
No, that's stepped away. They've stepped away, and we will go to the priority minute.
Well, it's all about nerve now. You've got to favour Zhu right now. But if Kochneva doesn't rush, she's got the priority. If she doesn't rush and she builds the hit as she has done in that third period, there's a big, big chance of her claiming at least a silver medal here in Rio.
Well, the momentum is with the Russian. She's fought her way back in this third period. She's scored more points. She's got herself level. Now's the chance. One more hit will do it, and she's lost it. Xu Anqi, the world #1, has come through. But Kochneva really gave her a run for her money. That was a splendid fight, an absolute classic match, and really did encapsulate everything that épée is all about.
Absolutely, fantastic stuff. The comeback from the Russian there, who, you know, look, she's going to be disappointed, I'm